another Get Fit With Me video, and I thought today I would discuss the well-known formulas for weight loss and just diet in general. You know, we all hear about BMI, ideal body weight, and just calories in general, and I get asked all the time whether I count calories or not, so I just thought I would touch on these in this video. Before I get started, I really want to put a disclaimer out that these formulas do have a purpose, but they should always be taken with a grain of salt because they're just made for the general population, so they're not always going to apply for you. So for instance, when you look at BMI, someone that's an athlete and works out every single day may have a result that puts them at an overweight BMI. Where in reality, they're not overweight, they just have a lot of lean body mass. So these formulas are just for you to look at them as a reference, but you shouldn't obsess about them at all. And they're not always going to work for you. But I wanted to go over, and I think we should just start with BMI. And I'm pretty sure all of you have calculated your own BMI at some point. But with BMI, if you're within 18.5 and 24.9, you're within the normal range. Again, it varies. And you should always take it with a grain of salt, but usually that reference works with the general population. Now, if you're over the age of 65, because you have less lean body mass, it's a natural process. When we age, we start losing lean body mass. We are looking at a 23 to 29 range for as normal versus the 18.5 to 24.9. So just be aware of that, because if you're over the age of 65 and you have a BMI of 24, you may think, oh my gosh, I'm like almost at the end, where really you're not. You're like at a great place. I'm going to add the formula here in my video, but if you're someone that's very curious and wants to do this all the time, which I don't think you need to, but what I use is actually an app because it just makes it easier. I have to calculate BMIs every single day at work, so instead of doing the mathematical formula all the time, I just have an app. And it's free. It looks like this, and it's called My BMI Calculator. And what I like about it is that it has the regular standard US feet, inches, and pounds, but then you can also switch off to metric to use centimeters and kilograms, and it's just very easy to use. And for me, because I'm using this every single day and I calculate like, I don't know, like 20 BMIs a day, it just saves me a lot of time by using this app. So if you're curious about seeing whether you're in range or not, if you want to do it by hand or if you want to download it and just check real quick, that's fine. But I don't think BMI tells you a lot. It just tells you if you're within range, but it's not really assessing how much of your mass is fat and how much is lean body mass, because it's an app. It doesn't know what the proportion is. It's just looking at your general weight versus your height. So it's really something that you should just look as a reference maybe once in a lifetime and really not obsess about it. And moving on to ideal body weight, this formula isn't as popular, but I like to do this. And again, it's one of those things that you just do once in your lifetime because it's based off your height and you're really not going to change. You're not going to really grow that much or shrink that much. But how it works is for women, for every 5 feet, you give yourself 100 pounds, and then for every inch over 5 feet, you multiply 5 pounds. So I am 5'2", so that would mean I give myself 100 pounds for my 5 feet, and then 2 inches times 5 pounds is 110. So my ideal body weight is 110. Now again, that's just a reference. If I'm someone that works out all the time, I'm going to be weighing a little bit more. If not, I perhaps might weigh a little bit less, and also depends on your like structure, if you're wider, if you have stronger bones, or you know, just depends on so many things. So your ideal body weight is really just, again, a reference. You should not obsess about it. For men, because they're typically just, you know, have more lean body mass naturally, more muscle, and they're usually have like a wider bone structure. It's 106 for the first 5 feet, and then 6 pounds for each inch over 5 feet. So it gives them a little bit more. I don't like to obsess with ideal body weight because like I said, your height will be always the same, kind of. And while this formula may make a lot of sense while you're in high school and you're like, okay, I'm 5'2", I'm 110 pounds, yes, it makes sense. You know, once you're in your 50s and 60s and you're still 5'2", 110 pounds seems a little too, you know, small. And yeah, I don't think, you know, you naturally will gain weight and your proportions will change. You'll lose some lean body mass and things just change in general as you age. So just out of curiosity, I wouldn't obsess over it at all. What really matters is that you're eating well and that you're, you know, at a weight that's proportionate to what you're doing, you know, what you're intaking, how much you're working out, if you feel like you're healthy, and I think that's all that matters. Now, what I think does matter is looking at what your usual body weight is and what your current body weight is, and you can just divide your current body weight by your usual body weight, and that gives you a percentage. If you're under 100, that tells you you're losing weight, which is not always the best thing. And if you're over your usual body weight, if you're like 105, that means you've gained 5% of what your usual body weight is. And that's not always great either. It just depends, again, on the situation. If you're healthy and you're at a healthy weight, you want to make sure that your usual body weight percentage always sticks around within 100%, because that just means that you're maintaining. Now, if you're someone that's looking to lose weight, it's going to go under 100 because you're losing weight. I hope this is not confusing, and I'm going to add the formulas to my video, and I'm sure it will make sense as you see it. But again, it's just a matter of looking at formulas. I do think usual body weight percentage is a good one, because you want to make sure you're staying within your 100% or 99 or just 101, not going too further. You don't want to gain too much or lose too much. You want to stay, you know, at a healthy weight and maintain it. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about calories, and I think calories are very important. I mean, I have to estimate needs in every day for my patients, but I don't think it's something you should obsess over. Now, if you're someone that is looking to lose weight, I think it's very important that you're aware of how many calories you should be eating, because if you're trying to lose weight, it means that you really weren't eating the right amount of calories, so you're probably not aware of how much you need to eat. At first, when you're starting a new weight loss plan, it is important to count calories, just because eventually, as you count them and you start eating a certain way, it's going to get to a point where you already know how much to eat without counting calories, because your stomach will shrink and it's going to start adapting itself to your current diet. And if you start listening to your body and only eating when you're hungry and stopping at a point where you're already satisfied, not overeating, you're going to stay within that range. But at first, to be within that range, it's hard because you came from a diet that was exceeding in calories. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't be overweight. So if you're someone that's looking to lose a couple pounds, it is important to see, okay, for this weight, how many calories should I eat, and start counting them, and then eventually you're so used to the same proportions and you just get used to listening to your body, and your body will adjust to those calories and those proportions. So at first, I do think it's important to count calories. Even myself, whenever I get off track, I feel like then if I'm eating too much, then my body is responding to that. And I feel like to get back on track, it's important for me to write down my calories and my food just in a journal, because it just makes me more aware of how much I'm eating. And then within a couple of days, you know, I'll feel like I'm ready to just take it on, and I don't need to count calories anymore because my body has adjusted to the new, you know, proportions again. The range of calories that you need to eat has to be based off the weight that you want to be. So if you want to be 110, you divide it into 2.2, and that gives you 50 kilograms. And then usually the range of calories is going to vary, but usually that would be 25 to 35 calories per kilogram. So if you're someone that's sedentary or has like a slower metabolism, maybe the 25 times 50 kilograms will give you your range of calories. If you're someone that's more active, maybe 35 would be your minimum calories times the 50 kilograms. You know, you hear people that are healthy all the time saying, no, I don't count calories. I just eat when I'm hungry and I listen to my body. I stop when I need to stop. And that's because they don't need to. They're at a healthy weight. They're not looking to gain, lose. They're just listening to their body. It's a little bit different when you're looking to lose weight or gain weight because you're trying to change something that you're not. So obviously you're doing something wrong. So if you want to gain weight, that means you're not eating enough calories to be at that weight you want to be. And if you want to lose weight, that means you're eating too many calories. So I think it is important whenever you start a plan, whether that's to gain or lose weight, that you calculate a range of calories just to give you an idea. And I do recommend that you write things down for the first couple of weeks until you feel comfortable. Now, writing things down, it just depends on your personality. You can use MyFitnessPal, and that's amazing because you can just scan in most things if you're eating like yogurts and like more packaged things. And you can also just search in, you know, non-processed foods like vegetables and fruits. It takes a little bit longer, but you know, shouldn't be too bad. And if you're someone that eats the same breakfast every day, you can actually copy over from, you know, yesterday. You can just say, okay, copy for today. So it's pretty quick and just gives you an idea of how many calories. If you're someone that likes pen and paper, you know, you can also write it down. I switch on and off. Sometimes I use MyFitnessPal. Sometimes I use pen and paper. I just do it real quick. I just like to look at my meals and seeing that, okay, I'm eating a mid-morning snack, mid-afternoon snack. It's staying within this range and just gets me back on track. Okay, I think that's it for today's video. I really just wanted to address a couple of the well-known terms in weight loss and diet. And I also do get asked about whether I count calories or not, so I just wanted to address that. Hopefully this was helpful if you're, you know, if you were wondering about any of this, and I hope I clarified any of your questions. Comment down below and let me know if you have any other questions, and leave me requests for future videos as well. And yeah, so if you're watching this video too and you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe for more of my videos. And for all of you who have been subscribed, thank you so much for all your support. It means so much to me. And yeah, so I think that's it, and I will talk to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.